Hi everyone, welcome to Talk Time Africa. My name is Nikki and I have my lovely co-host today, Jay.
Hi everyone.
Today on the show we want to talk about the movie industry in Africa. South Africa, Ghana and Nigeria all have vibrant movie industries where they turn out several hundred movies every year. Today on the show our focus is Nigeria's Nollywood.
Nollywood is a $250 million movie industry that produces about 200 movies every month.
Wow, that's amazing. With those kind of figures, I'm concerned with quantity versus quality, but let's leave that for now. Nollywood is the second largest movie industry in the world. It is second only to Bollywood and ahead of Hollywood in terms of output and production. Hey, look who's here!
Hello!
Hey!
Hey! Nice to see you
Nice
again.
to see you.
How are you?
Good, good. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to the family.
Thank
Please
you,
sit
thank
down.
you. Looking gorgeous,
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for
Everybody,
having me
this
here.
is Austin Evoka. We're talking about Nollywood, and guess who walks back in the 1980s, Austin starred in quite a number of movies with Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, then movies like The Dreams, Man Around Town, and a couple of other movies. And then he did the popular Checkmate also, the series on NTA. And he worked in Lola Fanikayode's Mind Bending with the likes of Joke Silva and Olu Jacobs. So we're glad to have him in our midst this evening.
Thank you, thank you.
Glad you could join us.
My pleasure.
What was your experience like back in the 80s?
Wow. It was exciting, really. At the time you noticed that most of those who were involved in the theater had a passion for it. And there was a lot of discipline. Yeah. Nigeria has always been blessed with talents. You know, as like in any other profession, you know, that is one area that we're not lacking at all. But yeah, in the 80s, we enjoyed it. I mean, I had a full-time job, but I was still going out all night for recordings because we loved what we did. Yeah.
So when we talk about talent, let me ask you this question. Because you have talent, does that necessarily mean you don't have to be trained?
No, of course not. And, you have to understand that everybody on the face of this earth is an actor or an actress. You play various roles in life. I'm sure you play the role of a mom when you're home. When you work, you play the role of a colleague at work or your boss or whatever it is.
Sure.
Yeah. Your talent has got to be harnessed. There are a whole lot of technical issues that have to go alongside the talent in being able to fully project what it is that you have inside of you. You know, these days, that is very much lacking. I do not see training, but don't get me wrong. There are very good actors and actresses out there. You know, however, they have lost the control or the discipline that the theater deserves. You know, the theater, as we all know, is a platform, actually the most appropriate for us to examine the ideals of our time. But with the guys we get out these days, they come out and play themselves, or they repeat roles that they have played in the past. I remember when we were back then, and mind you, I trained on stage. Once you got a script, you're given a certain period of time to go learn your script, come up with a character analysis. You have to be able to differentiate or relate whatever role you're playing to that of your counterparts. That is not there. That is called chemistry. That's the only way you can interpret a script. Another thing I see lacking is our delivery. These days, the diction is messed up. Actors, actresses used to be known as the most well-spoken people on the face of the earth. But what we have going on these days is, as far as I'm concerned, a travesty.
Is it because of the crop of people who are involved in it now that is happening?
Not necessarily. No, like I said earlier, we have the talents. But of course, you have to allow the director to come in with his own approach.
Okay. Okay.
The director has got to take hold and control of the set.
Okay.
He has lost that. And that is because of the stranglehold that the marketers now have on the industry. They dictate who plays what role. That should never be. We have very well-versed producers and directors. Our stories, yes, they have themes, but they lack substance in the way they are told. And if you don't have the right person cast in the proper role, you lose interpretation. You don't want to blame them because the viewing audience are not well educated to appreciate what should be and what should not be. You can't bring that stuff out here and sell it to the educated people in this country. Most of those who watch these things are, so to say, people like us back home for entertainment purposes. When you talk about education, you don't get all that there. You know, that is really lacking.
What can be done to give them back that hold, the producers, the directors? What can they do to take back control?
Like in any industry, there's always a solution to every problem. You know, one is the resources, financial resources. Secondly, we have greed, which has eaten deeply into the system. If our producers can come together and collaborate, find a way to eliminate the marketers, then the movie industry will come back to what it is today. Yeah. But because the marketers have the money, you have to obey what they say or do what they want, otherwise you don't get to eat. And everybody's scrambling out there for the crumbs. Meanwhile, Nigeria is so fertile with stories waiting to be told. People out here want to know what the African man or woman is all about.
And it is primarily because of those good stories that people all over the world are watching these movies. A friend of mine recently came back from Jamaica in the West Indies, and she was telling me that Nigerian movies are shown, like they show the trailers of Nigerian movies on TV, in West Indies. So these movies are watched all over the world.
Oh yeah, they watch all over the world. Everybody sees them. But the point I'm really trying to make is, like in any business, your aim should be maximization of your profit potentials. Okay. If we took the time to do movies the way they should be done, and by the way, what we call movies back home are actually dramas.
How's that?
Because movies, as far as I'm concerned, are fast-paced. We are so used to overflogging scenes and dialogues and going round in circles and rambling that we lose every bit of a translation of the script itself. You don't see that happening here. An actor comes and says, because the camera is on you, you start to ad-lib, you start to change and improvise where it is not necessary. You played a very serious role, the next minute you're becoming what do you call it, a comedian. Now where do I place my judgment as to what you're trying to tell me? You know, now I'm looking at a supposedly serious movie, and all I'm saying is somebody playing a comic role. You don't blame them, you can't blame them. That is the work of the director. But because he has lost control, he cannot do what he is supposed to do.
Let's talk about the culture, because Nollywood reflects the Yoruba, the Igbo, and the Hausa cultures, with most of the movies shot in popular cities like Lagos, Enugu, and Abuja. But for the viewers, do the Nollywood movies portray our culture, or do you believe they're just entertainment purposes only?
Yes, naturally they reflect, you know, what's going on in the country. we will realize that things have changed. Nigeria is not the place that we left it how many years ago. So yeah, to a great extent, yes, they reflect our culture, but one problem I have there is with the way we try to portray the roles that we play. There's no consistency in some of the actors, with characterization. If you're playing the role of Mr. Emeka, who lives somewhere in the East, who has never left the shores of Nigeria, but you get on set and you're speaking as someone who was born in North Dakota. And I'm beginning to wonder, okay, is this the way we speak in Nigeria? So the bottom line is we try to imitate the Americans or the English, in a very poor manner, by the way, thereby losing the actual interpretation of the script.